Tonight we'll take a look at a cook-off on campus.
Plus the new quad opens up on campus. Stay tuned, TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for March 27, 2012. I'm Judson Garner.
And I'm Bailey Majors. Thank you for joining us this evening. For the first time in over 2 years, Troy students now have an unobstructed path between the library and the Trojan Center. Yesterday, construction fences came down on at least a part of the North Quad, opening up a well-traveled area for students. Jamarla Phillips gives us a look.
Troy University's campus has been in the progress of building a new quad located on the opposite sides of Bibb Graves Hall. The blocking of fences have been taken down and the new quad is now accessible.
As many students made their way across the campus of Troy University, some students noticed what is the finishing of the North Quad.
I think this is beautiful and it's so much more convenient than having to walk all the way around, so I think it really is a great addition to our campus.
I personally like trees, and these are like twigs. So I mean, if we were going to put a new quad, I would have liked more bigger trees because there's almost no shade on this campus and it gets really hot sometimes.
In my opinion, it was a loss because the amphitheater before it was a monument here on campus. A lot of memories since I became a freshman here to my upcoming junior year.
I love it. I'm excited. This is actually my first time to walk across it, but I think that it's going to be great once it's finally finished.
I like it. It's very nice. It's a good addition to campus. I think it's beautiful.
Although many students were excited for the opening of the new quad, there are still a few who see it as just an easier pathway from the library to the Trojan Center.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's great that we can walk through now from the TC, so people are just relieved that we can walk through now.
Well, I think the new quad is really nice and it's really convenient because I like to go to the library and I like to eat, so I can walk from the library to the TC just like that.
I think it'll be the same as the other quad because I think we're original and we like the old quad too, but I think with it being so convenient to the library from the TC that it'll attract more students.
Jamarla Phillips, Troy TrojanVision News.
The North Quad project is still not 100% complete. There is still work to be done on a central fountain in the areas in the northernmost portion of the quad.
It's Greek Week, and that means weeks worth of competitions for Troy's fraternities and sororities. But the week just isn't about seeing who's the top Greek organization on campus. The Greeks also take time out to raise money for a good cause. Derica James has the story.
Greek fraternities and sororities are at war for the money, mainly pennies. Greeks kicked off the Greek Unity Week with their annual fundraiser, Penny Wars.
Penny Wars has traditionally been known to be one of the biggest fundraisers for the philanthropy chosen during Greek Week. The way we do Penny Wars is all the sororities and fraternities are divided into teams of 5, and whatever team raised the most money at the end of the week receives 15 bonus points additional to their Greek Week points.
But the war is not as easy as it may seem, for there are weapons that can hurt the soldiers.
Okay, Penny Wars is kind of self-explanatory, but all the teams will receive positive points for pennies, double the points if they have their pennies rolled already, and they'll also receive positive points for checks and paper money, and then negative points for silver money.
Greeks are not just doing this for the competition, but to raise funds for this year's Greek Week philanthropy.
The philanthropy of Greek Week is the International Children's Heart Foundation, and we picked this philanthropy based off of one of our alumni from Troy. He was a Lamanic guy. He founded this, and what he does is he goes into third world countries and he does open heart surgeries for kids who need heart surgeries.
Derica James, Troy TrojanVision News.
Greeks are not the only ones encouraged to participate. Anyone can help out their favorite Greek organization until Friday at 2. Well, Bailey, while there are a number of competitions between fraternities and sororities on campus this week, only one helped fill some bellies.
That's right, Judsons. The Greeks put on their chef hats to see which organization could cook up the best chili. Deatra Montgomery has the story.
The Troy University Greeks donned their aprons and pulled out their best recipes for the first annual chili cook-off held on Fraternity Row. This event was one of many activities the fraternities and sororities held to start off a fun-filled weeks for the Greeks.
This is just a laid-back, chili cook-off. You pay $5 for entrance. You come in, have yourself some of the chili and the food that they're serving, the different competitions, just have yourself some fun and talk to all your friends here.
Though the week is full of fun and games, the money raised will help support 2 different organizations.
We have a new organization that we're giving money to this year, which is Children's International Heart Foundation. Normally Greek Week just supports Relay for Life, but this year we're splitting it between the 2.
Though this is a competition, Greeks find unity in simply sitting down and sharing a meal.
It is a competition, but I do think just by being here, spending time together, and getting to be a part of every person's creation or whatever they come up with today, really just helps us get together and spend time together.
It does bring the Greeks together, just for us to hang out, and conversate within the Greek community. It not only brings us together, but it makes us stronger as a Greek community. It makes us united.
And as one Greek puts it, though each group is different in their own way, they're all working to better each other.
We are separate sororities, separate fraternities, but we are all a part of the same university, striving towards the same thing, which is to better each other and to better our university.
Deatra Montgomery, TrojanVision News.
The next Greek Week competition is the Overtime Challenge tonight in Memorial Stadium.
And now taking a look at news from around the state in Birmingham, leaders in Alabama's largest city have voted to make the Florida teenager Trayvon Martin an honorary citizen. The Birmingham City Council voted today to declare the 17-year-old an honorary citizen and voice its displeasure over how his shooting death has been handled in Florida.
And in Wicksburg, officials say a high school teacher and teacher's aide are on paid administrative leave while school officials investigate tape recordings of how they dealt with a 10-year-old special education student. The Dothan Eagle reports that Jose Salinas' parents attached a tape recorder to the bottom of their son's wheelchair after noticing a decline in his grades and enthusiasm for school. Jose has cerebral palsy.
In Newville, mourners, including the Reverend Jesse Jackson and Martin Luther King III, packed a small rural church in southeast Alabama to remember Reverend Al Sharpton's mother, Ada Sharpton. Others filling Center Baptist Church in Newville today, including TV Judge Greg Mathis and NAACP President Ben Jealous.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the Trojan baseball team is on the road to face Jacksonville State. Danielle Purcell will be in next in sports with all the details.
But first, there have been new developments in the Florida shooting case. We'll have more after the break.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone, but you're not alone. At IAVA.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Oh, this isn't good. I was a gift from him to her. I'm going to the animal shelter, which isn't necessarily bad. I just hate the stigma associated with shelter pets. People will think I bite or that I spray everywhere. They're the ones with problems. I'm totally fine. Adopt me, you'll see. I'm gonna go pack.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Judson Garner at the Global News Desk. Judson.
Thanks, Bailey. Day 2 of the Supreme Court hearings into the health care law focused on the controversial requirement that nearly every American must buy health insurance. Danielle Nottingham is at the Supreme Courthouse with the story.
The heated debate over President Obama's health care law reached the steps of the Supreme Court Monday. Hundreds protested outside as the 9 justices began hearing 3 days of arguments over whether the law that affects millions of Americans is constitutional. Monday's session focused on whether these legal challenges must wait until 2014, when the entire law takes effect.
If we agree with you about the correct interpretation of the statute,
we need not decide the jurisdiction.
There would be no reason to decide the jurisdiction.
Don't you want to know the answer?
A ruling from the High Court is expected in June, right in the middle of the presidential election battle. The decision could have a major impact on both President Obama and his GOP rivals who have pledged to repeal the law. Rick Santorum went to the Supreme Court and pledged to make it the central issue if he's the Republican nominee.
This is the most important issue in this election.
People lined up for days for a chance to hear the historic arguments.
I truly believe this law tramples our Constitution. I think it's just really important to come out here and support this law that's already helped so many Americans.
Court watchers expect the real fireworks to come Tuesday, when the justices consider the law's so-called individual mandate. It requires uninsured Americans to buy health coverage by 2014 or pay a penalty. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
At least 2 people are dead in Colorado after more than a dozen fires have broken out across the state. It's unusually dry there this time of year, and now high winds have been fanning the intense wildfire just outside Denver. Teresa Garcia has the latest from Los Angeles.
Plumes of thick smoke are spreading over parts of rural Jefferson County, southwest of Denver. The lower North Fork fire started Monday and has burned more than 3,000 acres. High winds spread the fire quickly. At least 15 mountain homes are destroyed. Residents have been grabbing belongings and rescuing their animals.
I'm really scared and I'm getting stuff ready to leave.
First time in 36 years. Had to get out of here, so heavy duty.
It's kind of scary. It's real scary. So we're just hoping it doesn't blow this way.
Flames still flicker inside the charred rubble of a house. At another, a car has burned to a blackened shell. The fire spread so quickly that crews have had to shift to rescuing people. About 900 homes have been evacuated and more are threatened.
Praying that the fire goes around our house, but it got our neighbor's house that's a couple miles up the road.
Rows of pine trees are now just blackened sticks. The winds have kept crews from fighting flames from the air. Lighter winds are expected, and a fire surveying plane has been scouting conditions so tanker planes can begin drops. Officials believe the lower North Fork fire started when winds pushed a planned burn out of control, and so far it has not been contained. Teresa Garcia, CBS News.
The parents of slain Florida teen Trayvon Martin were joined by civil rights leaders as they addressed the government of Sanford, Florida. They are demanding that the neighborhood watch captain who shot and killed their 17-year-old son be arrested. Randall Pinkston has more.
Protesters lined up outside the Supreme Court rallying for and against the health care reform law.
There needs to be more talk about it, but I think it's a step in the right direction.
As they chanted outside the court, inside the justices focused on whether the part of the law that requires all Americans to buy health insurance is constitutional.
For states' rights advocates.
And that'll wrap things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, you can tune in to Trojan Vision Global News right after the nightly news. Now back to you, Bailey.
Thanks, Judson. And now Danielle Percival joins us with sports. So Danielle, what's going on in sports today? What is the big Trojan sports story?
Well, Bailey, the baseball team is getting ready to be in action in just a little while, but actually a softball player was awarded an honor by the Sun Belt Conference, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. As I said, the baseball team is continuing their 5-game road stretch tonight as they are back at it again, but taking a break from conference play. They hit the road today to Jacksonville looking to whoop Jack State. The Trojans sit at 500 with an 11-11 record, and if things go as they have for the past 7 games for the Trojans, they're due for a win. Dating back to the beginning of the South Alabama series, the Trojans have split wins and losses, and since they lost on Sunday, tonight should be the Trojans' night. Joe Hernandez will be making his first career start after a solid 3 2/3 innings against UALR and 2 outings against the other Trojans in the Sun Belt. First pitch for tonight's game is scheduled for 6:30, and Troy will be right back on the road tomorrow night for another midweek road game in Montgomery against Alabama State. The Trojans softball team went 2-2 against ranked teams this past week, and those 2 victories were thanks in large part to pitcher Ashley Rainey. Rainey was named co-pitcher of the week by the Sun Belt Conference for the 3rd time this season. She had complete game performances against both Auburn and Louisiana Lafayette, both top 25 teams. The freshman allowed just 5 runs and 12 hits in the 2 wins this week. Rainey has 10 wins so far this season and added 2 hits during the week. Head coach Melanie Davis with her thoughts on Rainey's performance.
And I can't say enough about how they all performed. In particular, you were going to ask about Rainey. She shut down one of the nation's best hitting teams, and facts are facts.
The Trojans will be in action tomorrow night at the Trojans softball complex against conference opponent South Alabama. First pitch is set for 5 o'clock. It's finally game time, or at least game week. The annual T-Day game is this Saturday at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The football team has finished the first week of practice and has moved into full pad workouts. Saturday morning, the team hit the field for 26 5-minute drills and wrapped up the day with a scrimmage with both Corey Robinson and Dion Anthony taking snaps at quarterback. The Trojans' next practice was scheduled for this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Again, the annual T-Day game is scheduled for this Saturday at 2 o'clock in Veterans Memorial Stadium, and the event is free and open to the public. And after the first 2 rounds of the UALR Women's Golf Classic, the Trojan women's golf team sits tied for 10th. The Trojans were led by senior Haley Lawrence, who finished the day at 5 over par, tied for 17th place. Troy sits just 14 shots behind the tournament leader, Oral Roberts. So the baseball team is getting ready to be in action again tonight. Hopefully they can pick up a win. Joe Hernandez with his first career start. He's already got a win on the season. Hopefully he can get his second one. And best of luck to them. And then the softball team, congratulations to Ashley Rainey. Hopefully they have success tomorrow night against South Alabama.
Absolutely. Good luck to both teams, and we look forward to a win.
Wish them well.
Thanks. Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, Aaron Taylor learns about the upcoming theater production.
But first, it's been sunny all week with temperatures heating up. What can we expect for the rest of the week, Bree?
It was picture perfect outside today with those spring-like temperatures, and it looks like those conditions may be here to stay. I'll have more coming up in weather.
At the heart of what we do in the College of Business is care for the student.
It's a personal thing with the students. We feel like the students are our most important asset, our most important products.
I have never been anywhere where I've known so many students on first-name basis. They stop by socially to talk to.
So we understand who our students are, and we're trying to help them be better in their areas of professional work.
My colleagues and I work together to create programs that our students need.
What we try to do at Troy University is provide an experience to students that not only provide the curriculum that allows them to be successful in the business world, but we also try to expand their horizons to reach greater opportunities that maybe they didn't think they were capable of before.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Just for a look at weather.
Well, Bree, so far this week's kind of playing out like last week did. It started off pretty nice, but does that mean that we're going to get some rain later on?
Well, you're right. We have had those picture-perfect conditions all week, and unfortunately, it looks like this week may just play out like last week did, but I'll get more into that in just a moment, though. First, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Right now on campus, we see that it's still a picture-perfect day outside, so whether you're headed to class or headed home from work, you can definitely sit outside and enjoy the view. Looking at our current conditions, we have sunny skies right now. Temperatures at 84 degrees, dew points at 48 degrees, humidity is at 28%, barometers at 30.11 inches and falling. Winds are coming in from the south-southeast from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Today's stats, we had a high today of 85, a low of 54. There was no rain today. The sun rises at 6:37 a.m. and it should set at 7:01 p.m. Looking at our temperatures around the state, overall the state is experiencing some lower 80-degree temperatures. Mobile coming in with the low at 79, Huntsville at 80, Birmingham at 83, Montgomery as well as Troy and Dothan at 84, Phoenix City at 82. Looking at our temperatures around the southeast here in our area, we're experiencing some mid-70-degree temperatures, and as we move throughout the rest of the southeast and on the east coast, those temperatures get a little bit cooler as we head to the northeast. Looking at our current surface map, we have a cold front coming in right here through the Midwest. Looks like it could be heading to our area, possibly bringing in some rain. Taking a closer look, we have a few light winds here in our area. That rain system coming in right above Tennessee, possibly touching us over the next few days. Precipitation forecast over the next 48 hours. Like I said earlier, we have those rain systems right here, right above our state, just north of us, maybe coming towards us over the next few days, so that's something to look out for. You maybe have to dust off that rain gear and bring it back out. As we head into tomorrow, there shouldn't be any rain in our area, but we do see certain parts of the state that will be experiencing some heavy to moderate rain systems, about an inch or so as we move into Friday. Still no rain for the most part, but it does look like it creeps back into our area coming in from the western part of the state. Moving in through our weekend, on Saturday, it looks like the state as a whole will be covered in rain, about half of an inch to an inch of rain or so, so you might want to grab that umbrella. Closing out our weekend on Sunday, that rain stays in our area, but it lightens up a little bit to about half an inch, so light rain's coming in on Sunday. For tonight's forecast, we have mostly clear skies, no rain, light winds coming in from the south-southeast at about 4 miles per hour with a low of 55 degrees. So much like last night, tonight will be a very mild night, maybe a night to even go stargazing if you like. For tomorrow's forecast, we have mostly sunny skies, no rain in our area, a very warm and windy day tomorrow, winds coming in from the south-southeast from 5 to 10 miles per hour with a high of 85. So tomorrow will be much like today, very warm tomorrow. You can definitely go outside and enjoy your day. If you have any events to do on campus, tomorrow might be possibly a good day to have them outside. Looking at our class outlook for tomorrow, at about 7 a.m. it should be about 57 degrees. You should probably bring a light jacket, but once it gets to about 10 a.m. it should be like right at 71, so you can eat breakfast if you like. Getting to 1 p.m. it gets a little bit warmer to about 80 degrees. Definitely go jogging and exercise if you like with those spring temperatures coming into our area. And around 3 p.m. it should get to the high around 83. You can definitely go outside and enjoy the view and just enjoy your day outside for tomorrow. Looking at our 4-day forecast for tomorrow, we have that high of 85 degrees with a low of 57. Friday, that high still stays right there in the mid-80s to 85. That low still at 57. As we head into our weekend on Saturday, much like last week, that rain comes back into our area, gives us about a 30% chance of rain and scattered thunderstorms. The high gets to 81, still in the 80s, still warm outside with that low at 63. And on Sunday, we still have that 40% chance of rain with those thunderstorms. The high gets to 79. So, Justin, like you said earlier, it looks like this week is playing out much like last week. We have the sun for the beginning of the week, and it looks like as we head into our weekend, unfortunately, we may have some scattered thunderstorms.
Well, at least some of that rain won't be coming in and bothering us on our way to class. But a fun fact about tonight is that tonight is a very good night for stargazing because you can see Venus. So for the viewers at home who didn't know that, just go lay outside.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Right there.
Well, thanks a lot, Bree.
You're welcome.